Many new parents struggle desperately with newborn sleep, and most of the time, they don't even realize they're making critical mistakes that make the entire process far harder, more exhausting, and more frustrating than it actually needs to be. They follow well-meaning advice passed down from grandparents, friends, neighbors, or old myths and misconceptions that simply don't align with modern sleep science and current research. But once parents truly understand what's really happening with their baby's sleep patterns, their biological rhythms, and what small changes can make a big difference, everything begins to improve almost instantly and dramatically. Sleep becomes less of a battle and more of a peaceful routine. Today, we're breaking down the most common mistakes parents make with newborn sleep and what you can do differently to finally enjoy longer, calmer, more peaceful nights where both you and your baby get the rest you desperately need. Before we dive in, take a moment to support this channel. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Every single week, we reveal more hidden truths about newborn sleep, insights and information most parents never hear from their pediatricians or sleep books. Your support helps us reach more families who desperately need this life-changing information. The first mistake parents make is ignoring the early signs of tiredness. This is absolutely crucial to understand. Newborns show clear signs of fatigue after very short periods of being awake, much shorter than most parents realize. These signs come in two distinct stages, early signs and late signs, and catching them early makes all the difference. Early signs include losing interest in faces or toys they were just engaged with, staring blankly into space with an unfocused gaze, becoming unusually quiet after being active, or suddenly getting fussy without any obvious reason like hunger or a dirty diaper. You may also notice yawning, which is the most obvious sign, rubbing eyes with their tiny fists, pulling ears repeatedly, or scratching the face in an agitated way. When you see these early signs appearing, it's absolutely critical and important to put your baby down immediately for sleep, because the one thing you want to avoid at all costs is letting your baby become overtired. This is where many parents make their biggest mistake. Once a baby reaches the dreaded overtired state, their body releases cortisol and adrenaline, the exact same stress hormones triggered during the fight or flight response when we face danger or extreme stress. These powerful hormones make the baby more alert instead of sleepy, more sensitive to every sound and movement, much harder to soothe no matter what you try, and far more likely to wake frequently during sleep cycles, sometimes every 20 or 30 minutes. By putting your baby down as soon as those early tired signs appear, before they escalate into crying and distress, you help them fall asleep faster, with less resistance, and stay asleep longer throughout the night. It's truly that simple, but it requires you to be observant and quick to respond. The second common mistake is not understanding the ideal awake window for newborns. Parents often keep their babies awake far longer than their tiny bodies can actually handle, thinking they're giving them more stimulation or tiring them out for better sleep later. For babies under 4 months old, awake windows are very short, typically between just 45 and 120 minutes total, depending entirely on how long the previous nap was and how well rested the baby is overall. A long nap of 2 hours may allow a slightly longer awake period of maybe 90 to 120 minutes. But after a short 30 or 40-minute cat nap, your baby may only manage 45 to 60 minutes of awake time before needing to sleep again. Their little bodies simply can't handle more. Once you understand and respect your baby's natural awake window, everything becomes so much easier. You know exactly when to start looking for those tired cues, when to slow things down and create a calm environment, and when to help them settle before overtiredness takes over and ruins everything. Many parents are shocked to learn just how short these windows are. They assume their 2-month-old can stay awake for 3 or 4 hours like an older child, but that's simply not how newborn biology works. The third mistake is believing that keeping a baby awake longer during the day will help them sleep better at night. This is one of the most common and persistent myths, and it is completely, totally wrong for newborns under 4 months old. Limiting daytime naps, cutting them short, or trying to stretch awake times only leads to an overtired, overstimulated baby who is flooded with stress hormones. And an overtired baby sleeps significantly worse at night, not better. They wake more frequently, cry more, and have trouble settling. Newborns need several naps throughout the day, sometimes 4, 5, or even 6 separate sleep periods. There is no rigid schedule at this age, and trying to impose one will only create frustration. Instead, you follow their natural cues and support their biological sleep needs so that nighttime rest becomes smoother and more predictable. Good daytime sleep actually supports good nighttime sleep. They work together, not against each other. When a baby naps well during the day, they're calm, regulated, and able to sleep better at night. It seems counterintuitive, but it's scientifically proven. The fourth mistake is creating a sleep environment that is too stimulating, bright, or engaging. Parents want the nursery to feel warm, cute, welcoming, and playful, but this often results in too many distractions that actively work against sleep. Newborns are naturally curious about everything. The entire world is new to them. A mobile hanging above the crib, colorful decorations on the walls, glowing night lights with patterns, or music playing in the background can immediately pull their attention away from sleep and toward engagement and stimulation. The best sleep environment for a newborn is very dark enough that you wouldn't be able to read a book without straining your eyes. Darkness signals to their brain that it's time to sleep and helps produce melatonin, the sleep hormone. It should be calm and completely free of visual stimulation. No moving objects, no bright colors in their line of sight, no screens or glowing devices. And it should be supported by consistent white noise, which masks household sounds like dogs barking, doors closing, or siblings playing, and prevents sudden noises from waking the baby during their light sleep phases. A dark, quiet room with white noise helps the baby return to sleep more easily when they naturally wake between sleep cycles, which all babies do multiple times per night. The environment either supports them falling back asleep independently, or it wakes them fully. You have control over this. Another very common mistake that almost every parent makes is picking the baby up too quickly when they hear sounds. Newborns make a surprising and sometimes alarming amount of noise while sleeping. They grunt loudly, squirm and wiggle around, cry out suddenly, and may even partially open their eyes or make facial expressions. Many parents hear these sounds and immediately assume the baby is awake and needs them. But just like adults, babies move through different sleep cycles throughout the night. They have light REM sleep and deeper sleep phases. They briefly wake or partially wake and then fall back asleep on their own unless we interrupt that natural process. When you hear your baby fussing, making noises, or even crying out, pause for a moment. Don't rush in immediately. Watch and listen carefully. They may simply be transitioning between cycles, processing their day through active REM sleep, or adjusting their position. If you rush to pick them up the moment you hear a sound, you may accidentally wake them fully from what was just a partial waking, causing more crying, more distress, and making it significantly harder for them to fall back asleep. You've essentially interrupted their natural ability to self-soothe and return to sleep. Give them at least 30 to 60 seconds before you intervene. You'll be surprised how often they settle back down completely on their own. This doesn't mean ignoring genuine distress, but it does mean not responding to every single grunt and squirm. The final common mistake is trying to enforce an early bedtime too soon, before the baby is developmentally ready for it. Babies under 3 months often have a naturally late bedtime, sometimes around 10 or 11 p.m., and it can vary each night depending on their naps and awake windows. After 3 months, bedtime gradually shifts earlier and becomes more predictable, eventually settling around 7 or 8 p.m. Trying to force a strict early bedtime of 7 p.m. before they're developmentally ready, which many parenting books recommend without acknowledging age differences, usually results in frustration for everyone involved. The baby wakes soon after being put down, cries inconsolably, or wants to play again because they're simply not tired yet. Their circadian rhythm, their internal biological clock, hasn't matured enough to support an early bedtime. Fighting against their biology creates stress for both parent and baby. Following your baby's natural rhythm during the early months, even if it means a later bedtime than you'd prefer, will make bedtime smoother, more peaceful, and more successful for both of you. As they grow, you can gradually shift it earlier, but forcing it prematurely rarely works. If you avoid these 6 common mistakes and begin responding to your baby's natural cues, watching for early tiredness signs, respecting their short awake windows, allowing plenty of daytime sleep, creating a dark and calm sleep environment, pausing before picking them up, and following their natural bedtime rhythm, sleep becomes dramatically easier. Your baby falls asleep faster with less resistance, sleeps longer in consolidated stretches, and wakes fewer times during the night. You'll feel more rested, more confident, and more connected to your baby because you understand what they need. These aren't complicated strategies that require expensive equipment or rigid schedules. They're simple adjustments based on understanding your baby's biology and working with it instead of against it. For more newborn sleep guidance, practical tips, and evidence-based strategies, follow the channel for weekly videos designed to help you understand your baby better and bring more peace, rest, and calm into your home. Sleep doesn't have to be a constant struggle. With the right knowledge, it becomes one of the most peaceful parts of your day. 6. Simple baby. Sleep fixes that will transform your life. Many new parents struggle desperately with newborn sleep, and most of the time, they don't even realize they're making critical mistakes that make the entire process far harder than it needs to be. They follow well-meaning advice passed down from grandparents, friends, or old myths that simply don't align with modern sleep science and research. But once parents truly understand what's really happening with their baby's sleep patterns and what small changes can make a big difference, everything begins to improve almost instantly and dramatically. Today, we're breaking down the most common mistakes parents make with newborn sleep and what you can do differently to finally enjoy longer, calmer, more peaceful nights. Before we dive in, take a moment to support this channel. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Every week, we reveal more hidden truths about newborn sleep, insights most parents never hear. Your support helps us reach more families who desperately need this information. The first mistake parents make is ignoring the early signs of tiredness. Newborns show clear signs of fatigue after very short periods of being awake. These signs come in 2 distinct stages: early signs and late signs. Early signs include losing interest in faces or toys, staring blankly into space, becoming unusually quiet, or suddenly getting fussy without obvious reason. You may also notice yawning, rubbing eyes, pulling ears, or scratching the face repeatedly. When you see these signs, it's absolutely important to put your baby down immediately, because the one thing you want to avoid at all costs is letting your baby become overtired. Once a baby reaches the overtired state, the body releases cortisol and adrenaline, the exact same stress hormones triggered during the fight or flight response. These hormones make the baby more alert, more sensitive, harder to soothe, and far more likely to wake frequently during sleep cycles. By putting your baby down as soon as early tired signs appear, you help them fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer throughout the night. The second common mistake is not understanding the ideal awake window for newborns. Parents often keep their babies awake far longer than their tiny bodies can handle. For babies under 4 months, awake windows are very short, typically between 45 and 120 minutes, depending on how long the previous nap was. A long nap may allow a 2-hour awake period. But after a short 30 or 40-minute nap, your baby may only manage 45 minutes before needing to sleep again. Once you understand your baby's natural awake window, everything becomes easier. You know when to look for tired cues, when to slow things down, and when to help them settle before overtiredness takes over. The third mistake is believing that keeping a baby awake longer during the day will help them sleep better at night. This is one of the most common myths, and it is completely wrong for newborns under 4 months old. Limiting daytime naps only leads to an overtired baby, and an overtired baby sleeps worse at night, not better. Newborns need several naps throughout the day, sometimes 4, 5, or even 6. There is no rigid schedule at this age. Instead, you follow their cues and support their natural sleep needs so that nighttime rest becomes smoother. The fourth mistake is creating a sleep environment that is too stimulating. Parents want the nursery to feel warm, cute, and playful, but this often results in too many distractions. Newborns are naturally curious. Everything is new. A mobile, colorful decorations, glowing nightlights, or music playing in the background can immediately pull their attention away from sleep. The best sleep environment is very dark, enough that you wouldn't be able to read a book, calm and free of visual stimulation, and supported by white noise, which masks household sounds and prevents sudden noises from waking the baby. A dark, quiet room helps the baby return to sleep more easily when they naturally wake between sleep cycles. Another very common mistake is picking the baby up too quickly. Newborns make a surprising amount of noise while sleeping. They grunt, squirm, wiggle, cry out, and may even partially open their eyes. Many parents hear these sounds and assume the baby is awake. But just like adults, babies move through sleep cycles. They briefly wake and then fall back asleep unless we interrupt. When you hear your baby fussing, pause, watch and listen. They may simply be transitioning between cycles or moving through active REM sleep. If you rush to pick them up, you may accidentally wake them fully, causing more crying and making it harder for them to fall back asleep. The final common mistake is trying to enforce an early bedtime too soon. Babies under 3 months often have a naturally late bedtime around 10 or 11 p.m., and it can vary each night. After 3 months, bedtime gradually shifts earlier and becomes more predictable. Trying to force a strict early bedtime before they're developmentally ready usually results in frustration. The baby wakes soon after being put down, cries, or wants to play again. Following your baby's natural rhythm during the early months will make bedtime smoother for both of you. If you avoid these common mistakes and begin responding to your baby's natural cues, sleep becomes easier. Your baby falls asleep faster, sleeps longer, and wakes fewer times during the night. For more newborn sleep guidance, follow the channel for weekly videos designed to help you understand your baby better and bring more peace into your home.